Welcome to my garden. People ask me what the garden's like, as I've written a couple of gardening books, and they're interested to see what I actually made of my own space. This particular space I bought a year ago, so it's a very new garden. I'd coveted the land for 34 years, but never got a chance to buy it. We have a parking area at the first piece. You'll have to excuse any wobbliness of the camera. I'm not as stable on my legs as I would like to be. So it comes through the first rose arch. You can see that the garden is very densely planted. There are gravel walkways on either side, but very little room for manoeuvre. So it's hard to step back to say this plant is that or this plant is whatever, because there's no room to do so. But as you come through the rose arch, you come to the first bed, which contains a greengage tree and a plum tree, currant bushes, and an acer on the corner, which has been there some time in that particular pot. Somewhere to sit. Looking behind me back towards the rose arch, I've got woodland type plants of foxgloves, azaleas, rhododendrons, more azaleas, and of course some Walking Dead gnomes, compliments of my nephew. Coming back along the garden again. I will come on this side because the other side is hard for me to manoeuvre along. I have a whole wall here of blackberries. They were planted 30 years ago. Although I didn't own this strip of land then, there was a foot along the one side, just about 12 inches of land that did belong to me, and I popped these plants in, and they've been growing ever since, and they provide an immense amount of fruit every year. Along the bottom of there, I have pots, azaleas, fuchsias. I did actually last year count all the pots I had, and it came to a frightening 64, and I know that since then I have bought a lot more, so I do have a surfeit. I think I'm a bit of a what would be the word, I'm a bit of an obsessive pot buyer, in the same way as I'm an obsessive paperweight buyer. Somewhere to sit, put your cup of tea. Here we have gooseberry bushes, which are absolutely laden with gooseberries at the moment. I hope to have a good crop when they swell up and ripen. The blackberries are in full bloom and promising of a very heavy crop. More fruit trees. And I have a fig tree, plum tree. Further along here, yet another bed of gooseberries. And here we have a flower bed with normal sort of woodland type flowers. I have foxgloves, sisyrinchiums, aquilegia, and some rather nice roses. Down here I have alpines and fuchsias, and behind them, looking very, very sorry for themselves and in grave need of water, are some very sorry looking tomato plants. Again, absolute heavy crop of gooseberries. Look at that one there. Isn't that magnificent? These are the sisyrinchiums that we could see from a distance. There we are. Get them right down at the angle and you can see the sisyrinchium, which was a word my husband thought I was making up. He didn't think that anything could possibly be called sisyrinchium. Here we have geraniums, which are really the old-fashioned geraniums, not the pelargoniums which masquerade as geraniums. Coming through, have to breathe in a bit to get past things. Come round this way, and you can see that I rather like wall plaques which adorn my fence. My favourite being of Jamie from Outlander, kilted or naked, he'll do me fine, thank you. And I also have my dear friend Sean the sheep. We come round, we come up to another rose arch, complete with bell, in grave need of being polished. Through the rose arch and into a bird-friendly woodland area again, where there's a rather nice bonsai'd cedar, somewhere to sit, and I have here on this other side a cat ladder. Right, why would I need a cat ladder? Well, anybody who knows me knows that Moses has only got 3 legs. He gets up, but he can't get back down again. The old man of the forest lives up this end, taking care of all that is around him. This side is full of alpines and my first attempt at growing agaves, which I'm not entirely sure will survive the winter, but we live in hope. Beyond another rose arch, work area, the mandatory clothes area, potting area, more fruit trees. Come round here and we have strawberries and rhubarb, potting bench, storage area, table and chairs, and of course garden rubbish. Around this bit, my raspberries. Over here, my little greenhouse, and it really is little, it's only 4 foot by 2, but it serves its purpose, and most of the stuff in my garden have actually been grown there. Through yet another rose arch, which leads to the main garden and the garden ponds, which I will do in a separate video. But thank you for coming up the side garden with me, and thank you for watching.